What's up, team? How you doing? It's been a while. Today, I'm going to show you how to assemble your very own amame V2 headphones. Alright, this is going to be fun. So let's first make sure that we have all the right tools for the job. We need a M2 Allen key, a Phillips #1, and we need something to screw in our little rubber bumpers. So you can either use a 10mm socket or you can use the tool that's included in the files. As for the parts, we need 4 M1.7 by 10 plastic screws, and we need 8 M3 by 25 socket head screws. And then included in your kit is going to be a headband, 2 drivers, 2 ear pads, and these little pigtails. They connect the mini XLR ports to your drivers. And one of them will have 4 pins and the other one will have 2 pins. The 4-pin one is for those of you who ordered a mic with your kit. And if you don't see a mic here, we'll get to you shortly. So the first thing that we need to do is get the mini XLR terminals into the cones. You'll see that your cones are labeled right and left, and then you'll also see that the top half is labeled top. So make sure that goes on top. Otherwise, you're going to have a cable coming out of the top of your headphones. That's not going to look good at all. So for the right one, we take our 4-pin mini XLR terminal and we poke it through there. And then you take this little mini XLR clip that you had to print and you poke it in there. And that's going to hold on to the terminal, and it's going to be really hard to push in, but there's a trick. So what you do is you just put it down on a table and push down. And just like that, it's in there. And then we can do the same for the left side. In from the front, make sure the flat side of the terminal is down, just in like that. And then grab your other mini XLR clip, push it in as far as you can easily, and then push it down on the table. There. If you find that this got bent or something like that, you can dig it out of there with a flathead, or you can use those little clips that your 3D printer comes with. You know, these ones. I've been able to fish those out of there if I need to in a hurry. For those of you who ordered a mic kit, just like this, you know, the gamers out there, those who are on video conferences with great audio, you'll also get this little 3.5mm connector. And that needs to get inserted from the inside of the cone on the right side. And so all you have to do is poke it in like this, just like that. And then you see that little white nub in the middle? You can use that. If you have trouble getting it all the way in, you can put this down on the table and then push on that with something. You can use your Allen key and just push it down so that it sits flush with the inside of the cone, this little surface right here. Let's see. So it sits flush with this surface. And then when we put the headband mount on top, it'll hold it on place afterwards. All right, now that the bottoms of the cones are done, we can prep the headband mounts. So for those, we just need to take these little threaded rubber bumpers and get them started gently with your hands. These can be a little bit of a pain, but I've got this handy little tool that makes it way easier. So we just set that on top of the rubber bumper and twist. And that will slowly thread into your headband mount. This is what holds onto the spring, you know, the main part of the headband, and allows you to do some adjustment. We pivot the cups around this little bumper to allow every different shape and size of head to fit. And of course, it's got the gyro on the bottom side. So now we've got one. We can do the other. Thread that in there. Get it started. Just enough so it bites. And grab your handy little tool. Just like that. So amame V1 wasn't all that easy to put together. So I put a lot of work into making V2 a lot easier. So we've got little markings on the ear pad mount. This one's the left one. Here's the top. And we've got markings on the bottom cone. The tops can go wherever you want, so I just put a little amame symbol on those ones. And so the easiest ways to get started on the assembly of the cone is to start from the bottom up. So what we're going to do is leave the cone for a second, grab a driver, one of these impedance matched ones that we send you, and make sure that this flat surface on the driver, can you see that shiny flat surface, lines up properly with the outline that's on the ear pad mount. And we can put in, check where we are, that's the top, so this is the bottom. We're going to put in the bottom 2 screws, just like this. And then we can attach that to the left cone, just like this. And I've chosen this.
No, you didn't. I can't believe you. Come on, man, you designed these things. You forgot to connect the driver. That's like rule number 1. Anyways, if you're watching this, make sure you connect red to red, black to black, and let's get back to the assembly video.
And I've chosen this white headband mount for the cone. I can get this in place and then put the spring clamp on top. And then it's time for my top half. And that just slides in like this. And look at that. All we have to do is put 2 more screws in. And then remember, when you're threading these in, you're only threading into plastic. It's all the strength you need, and you really don't need to go crazy stripping out the plastic. So just use a hand tool.
Now, when you're tightening these, you can use the star pattern, where you go across the corners. But as long as you're careful, you're not going to mess it up.
All right. 1 cone done. So it's going to be all the same steps for the other cone. We make sure you got the correct ear pad mount. That's the top. This is the right. Put the driver in so that it matches up with this outline. And only put in the bottom 2 screws. Double check on the back that you got them opposite of the top. And then we can put that into the bottom cone. And make our connection. If you're on the right cone and you have a mic, then you would also plug in the mic port into the green and black connection. From there, we put in the headband mount. We can make sure our screws are lined up. Spring clamp on top. And then the top piece. Just like that. And then we can put in our last 2 screws. Good. Just like that. What do you think of this colorway, team? All right, we're almost there. All we need now is some ear pads. Those, you just slide on one side of the ear pad mount, and then you just rotate. And then I always like to put this seam here at the bottom. There's one. And then starting at the back, you can slip that over the edge, just like that, and then just spin them on. And again, throw the seam at the bottom. And now it's onto the headband. On V2, we put this awesome little amame emboss on the inside. And we also added some mount holes so that there's more adjustment available. You can put it flipped underneath like this. You can actually flip this all around like this and mount these on the top holes, and that'll get your leather all the way near the top side of the headband, just like that. For this assembly here, they fit me pretty nice when I put them on the top set of holes. Those are the ones we added, so everybody should get a little bit better fit. This is where that screwdriver comes in. I like to get the screws in through the plastic and the leather first, just to save me some time. And then I'm going to do yellow on the other side, because that's what I want. That's what I want these ones to look like. All right. So I'm going to go, what am I doing? I'm doing pink on the, I'm going to do pink on the left side opposite of the bottom. So you can just put your clip on the headband. It can be a little finicky sometimes. There we go. And then one thing that makes things a little bit easier is if you look from the back side to make sure the holes are lined up first. So you check to make sure the holes are lined up, and then you can go and thread into them. I chose the top holes this time, and then again using that Phillips #1. So again, if you have a larger skull than some, you can flip this leather around so it comes out this side, and that'll give you more room in the headband. And then yellow side. If you forget to line up your cover, you can also see down in here and just make sure the screws line up with the holes, just like that. And then, nice and careful, remember you're threading into plastic, so you don't need to go nuts. Just like that, we got a headband. Should we put these together? Just like that. We got a new set of headphones. Oh yeah, the cable. Don't forget about the cable. Tough to listen without one of those. So on the cable, look for a little R on there and an L on the other one. R goes on the right side. L goes on the left side. And you're ready to rip. Look at how good those are. My goodness. I'm excited to go listen to these. Bye for now.